welcome back to Ms.TeesDollroom, and today I decided to make some wall decor items for my up-and-coming dollhouse rack. So I'm already working on walls, but today I wanted to do some wall decor using things that I've kept, like the Z Gallery catalog. I'm recycling these windows and the little letters on the windows from last year's ornament from Walmart, and some wine tags and leftover foam core and Dollar Tree flowers and greenery, and of course some paint and hot glue. So that's what we're doing today in this video. Stay tuned. Hope you can learn something and maybe you'll decide to try it for your dollhouse. Decided to try and make some artwork using some craft supplies that I've been toting around for a couple of years. So what I have here is some artificial flowers from Dollar Tree. I have my Z Gallery catalog from last month, some gold cording, and these little stretch canvases. They're black and they came this way. I think they were like maybe 25-50 cents at Michael's a couple of years ago, and they are mounted on wood. And then these little wine glass name tags that I saw. It has a burlap edge, black, looks like, I don't know, press board or chipboard. And so I bought a couple of those to see if I could turn them into some type of wall decor for my dolls years ago. So I'm going to see if I can use all this stuff with some hot glue and some white acrylic paint or acrylic paint. And I have some metallic paint here. And I also have some black chalkboard paint from the Dollar Tree. So I'm going to see what I can put together. And first I want to start by flipping through my little Z Gallery catalog. And I like this picture. It's black and white with a little gold in it. And so I'm going to cut that out and see if I can mount that on some foam board or one of these little canvases. So let's see how that goes. Okay. So I'm going to start by gluing this on one of my little scraps of foam board. And we're going to use some Mod Podge for that. A brush. And then I'm going to trim the edges here. Alright, and while that dries, I think I'm going to make a popsicle stick frame to go around it. So I'm going to cut the corners off of these, but I'm going to paint them black first. Here.
Alright, so I got the popsicle sticks painted. I'm going to let them dry. And then we will glue them around the border of the foam core. And I'm going to put another layer of Mod Podge on. Alright, and while we're waiting for these things to dry, I wanted to try this technique on this next technique I'm going to show you. I want to try this on something dolly size because I saw this on YouTube and it was actually done on something for human use. But I want to try it and see if I can get it to work for something doll size. So what it is people were decorating canvases using artificial flowers that they had dipped in plaster of Paris. So instead of plaster of Paris, what I want to do is just use some acrylic paint and actually paint the flowers to make them look like they've been dipped in plaster of Paris. I'm going to try to paint these little leaves. But if that doesn't work, then I was thinking about thinning out the paint with a little water to a little runny glue consistency and just dipping the flowers in it to see if I could get the same effect like the plaster of Paris flowers. So I got this one painted. We'll see what that looks like when it dries up. I'll just set that on here. I'm using Dollar Tree flowers for this. So my hands are still messy from the previous painting, the black paint, but it's not getting on the flowers. So we'll continue on. Alright, so we're going to let those dry. And I have some ferns that I want to paint as well. So let me get those and I'll be right back. So now I'm back with my little ferns. And what I'm going to do is probably going to leave them on here. That might make it easier for me to paint them. So let's see how these look after they dry up a little bit. I'm going to use these on the black canvases. So we'll let them dry. Alright, so getting back to my Mod Podge project where I applied the picture to the foam core. I used matte Mod Podge, so of course it took the little shine, the gloss away from the photograph, and that's no big deal because I can always go back over it with some shiny Mod Podge, or I can put a piece of clear plastic acrylic to make it look like it's under glass. But what I liked about the picture was the little gold detail here. So I have some gold metallic craft paint that I'm going to use to try to make that pop just a little bit. And of course it dried with a little bit of puckering, so it kind of adds a little detail. You may not be able to see that from here, but I can see it. And I'm going to apply a little bit of gold glitter to it. Wow. See if I can make it pop just a little more. Alright, makes it shine just a little. I'll let that dry. So we're gonna let that chip. There we go. Let's see if our popsicle sticks are dry. Yeah, we can use those to go on the back. Alright. Alright, so I'm going to glue these around the frame. Oops. I'm just gluing around the edges to make sure it's in there really good. Here we go. Yeah, that was that hot glue touching me. Okay, so I made a neat little frame, and now we just need to touch up the edges on it. There we go. Now this technique is definitely not original. I saw this on another YouTuber's channel. I said, oh, that's neat. I want to try that. So I tried it. I like it. It'll be a neat little piece of artwork for my doll room. We'll let that dry. And let's see what's going on with our flowers. So our flowers need a few more minutes to dry. And let's see. I'm not going to put a second coat on the ferns because I want them to look like they were dipped in plaster Paris. I think it gives it a nice little texture detail to it. If you can see that. There we go. So let's cut these off. Well, let's start down here then. I'm all thumbs today. Oh, I need my wire cutters for this. I forgot that the branches were actually wired as well. Let me see. Okay. It's just a little piece of wire sticking out here. So let's let that dry up a little bit, and then we'll revisit that. Okay, so for this craft, what I'm going to do is recycle these little letters in the snowman on the window pane, or those window frames that I showed you guys, those window frame ornaments that we got from Walmart last year. And I didn't want to throw these away. I figured I could use them for something. So I decided to glue together 2 jumbo wooden popsicle sticks, and I put a smaller popsicle stick in the seam of it to hold it together. And then I'm going to paint it, and then I'm going to glue those letters on it. And I think I have some of the greenery that came off of there too, so I'm going to recycle that. So let's get this painted. I think I'm going to use gold paint for this. No, let's do black. We'll do the chalkboard style. Well, we'll go for a little farmhouse look for this. I'm using the chalk paint that you get out of the Dollar Tree. I've only seen it in black. Little chalkboard paint. No additional colors just yet. I'm not even going to paint the back of this. Just go around the sides. Anything that'll be visible in the pictures. Alright, so we're gonna let that dry, and then when we come back we'll put the letters and the greenery on it, and we'll see how we like it. Okay, so it is dry now, and we're going to start by laying everything out. Alright, that's our little hope sign. We can lean that against the front door or in a corner of a diorama room. And I think what I'll do is use this as a piece of Christmas decor for my Christmas diorama scene that I am working on. But first I want to brush a little bit of gold on these little berries right here. And then I think I can be satisfied with it after that. So that's our little hope sign that we're going to put in the Christmas diorama. And then we made our little recycled art from the Z Gallery catalog. And next we're going to work on these little dried flowers. Remember, I dipped them, well, I painted them with white paint. So let's see how this works out. And I have some leftover gold trim here. I'm going to see if I can put a couple of these leaves on here. Make it stand out a little bit. And then we have some of this little faux baby's breath. Let's see how that works. And let's see if I can put a little sprig of these things on here. And then it's time to clean up shop. I actually like this one. Let's see here. Well, I'm not that enamored of it. It's a little busy, a little too much going on. But I tried it, and I think I'll be alright with it. Let's see. That might not be too bad. We'll see what it looks like on the wall. But this is the end result of my play, trying to use up some scraps in my crafting tote here.
Well, this concludes today's video. I am quite pleased. I ended up making this Hope Christmas sign to put on the porch or lean up against the wall in my dollhouse. And I made a art print to hang on the walls. And I made like this 3D sculpture for the wall on this black canvas. So I'm kind of pleased with it. If you decide to try any of these techniques, drop me a line or put a picture in there. And I'll see you back in the next video. Bye.